There we go. It's part 8, and we're in the central nervous system, the brain, 443. And the author, the good Elaine Merib, takes the next 3 levels together as the brainstem. So we're going to treat it that way. And we have the midbrain coming next, then the pons, and then the medulla. Mes, met, mael is the first syllables, mesencephalon, metencephalon, myelencephalon. And here's the whole brain view. And so from the midbrain down here, from the anterior view, you can see, I like to sort of centrally locate the pons. But the midbrain itself is right here and right here, coming down through. Okay, so, and that's the way they point to it here, is in the midbrain. The mammillary body on the anterior side there, and the peduncles. Now, I call these, for the sake of easy nomenclature, as the golden arches, the cerebral peduncles. It's good to see these from a quite different view, where we abstract all of this extraneous stuff here, the telencephalon, get rid of that, get rid of the diencephalon, and for the most part. And then we just have this view right here. And if I can talk to an artist over at Pixar, I'm pretty sure that this might be a character coming up in some future film. So if anybody has an inside line to the Emeryville crowd there, just mention that. Just, hey, why not have this guy be the next superhero? Anyways, and of course that's the way it is in some certain animals. Not too much teal or diencephalon going on. But meanwhile, back here at the, they do present to us some diencephalon here, this purple area, and there's some thalamus here. There is some in through here below the thalamus, there's some hypothalamus and so on. Of course, there's the pituitary right here, right, sort of hanging down. There's this portion right here that swings around. Okay, that's an aspect of thalamus. It's the optic tract that actually plays a role right here in what could be described, although of course you have consciousness over your vision, it does play a role in stimulating certain aspects of the diencephalon. Moving right along, however, we have something here from the front view. Let's take a quick look. We have the what I'm calling the golden arches here. These are the cerebral peduncles. Do you remember that the cerebral peduncles actually are projection fibers? Okay, so if we were to go back a little ways and take a look here at the projection fibers as they're coming down, you'll notice, oh yeah, see that? We have projection fibers. They're coming down as the cerebral peduncles, you could say. Okay, so that's what's really going on here, is that these cerebral peduncles, peduncle means foot structure. Old-fashioned Victorian bathtubs have little feet on them, little peduncles. And so basically this is holding up the telencephalon up here, so to speak. But anyways, this is just the highway coming on down. It's going to be motor. It's going to be also, because sensory comes up through here, and then, how shall I say, it articulates with the thalamus. Okay, so synapses in there on the way up, and then the thalamus sends sensory through the corona radiata. So the corona radiata coming down is the cerebral peduncle right here. It's the downward tracks of the projection fibers, which then continue on through. Do you see that we have pyramids here, and we have the decussation of the pyramids? There's a great deal of crossover at this point. Okay, and here we have the pons. And the pons here, this bulge actually is just filled with pontine nuclei, and there's a lot of information being transferred, relayed, and how shall I say, processed through the cerebellum. So that's an important detail. And then, of course, we get a clear look at what is going to become our cranial nerves. So we see cranial nerve number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And, of course, 12 is here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12, yeah. So that's the anterior view right here. The posterior view, well, we have the side view. The side view shows us the corpora quadrigemini. Okay, so let's take a look at those. Corpora quadrigemini represent 4 little nubbins. That's why they're called corpora quadrigemina. Back here is the posterior view. The 2 above here are going to be associated with vision, and so we have the superior colliculi. So these 2 are called the superior colliculi, and they help to regulate, how shall I say, the various reflexes of vision. So we have special reflexes. We have certain things that our eyes do when they take on the role of scanning the horizon, for instance. And there's a certain kind of flicking activity. And I'm going to be showing you that in a video. My assistant and I both are going to spin. She's better at it than I am, partly because she's a lot younger than me, but she, you can see her eyes flicking in a particular direction, and then you can see my eyes as well. At any rate, there's also here the inferior colliculus, which is associated with sound. So these are reflexes having to do with vision and hearing. That's their job. Okay, so midbrain. Notice that we're now also at the level of the 4th ventricle. We have the choroid plexus right here. Further back from our view is the cerebellum. We do see branches going to the cerebellum, going to and from the cerebellum, but they have abstracted the cerebellum for the most part here so that we can actually see the brainstem. Okay, so we have the pons, we have the medulla down here, and let's take a look at the next view, in which they take our little Pixar character here, and we take a cut through at the level of the midbrain, at the level of the pons, at the level of the medulla. Okay, and so if we take a look here at this one, then we get to look at the midbrain. Let's take a look at the midbrain, substantia nigra. This is the red nucleus. Okay, so what this is all about, remember we only have one pigment in the whole body for the most part. Eye color, skin color, hair color, more or less that pigment. But you can use that pigment then also to make hormones and neurotransmitter types of things. So this is the source of not only melatonin, melanin is, but it's also the source of dopamine. And so here we have our reservoir, as it were. Take too many hits to the head, and this little tissue right here might atrophy, not work so well, and you might have Parkinson's disease. Okay, so we have the, how shall I say, the projection fibers coming down through here, so I'm calling these the golden arches here, coming on down. So I want you to think of it that way. It's easy. Okay, over here we just have a little bit of, what do we have here? There it is. The tectum. The tectum is a portion of the midbrain that has to do with reflexes, visual and auditory reflexes. We're not really seeing, oh yeah, we are. It's the superior colliculus is right here. Tectum is a larger area that includes some of these other gray matter aspects here. Okay, so that's our whole thing here. Basically, the highway is coming through. this is the cerebral peduncle and so on. Going to the next level, which is the pons, will be in our next episode.